have these actions for open public meetings or records, and it takes forever for the government to respond. If we go to the court, it takes years to get an answer. Well, this seems like a civil rights violation. I think these are civil rights laws, right? Can't there be something that we can do as to get some kind of a legislation together that says for civil rights kinds of violations like that, they have a special quick review process? Kind of like a FISA court has a special quick review for certain national security. You know, why do I have to wait for 2 years to get records from a library, for example, when the judge knows what's right and what's wrong and can just make a decision right away, but we have to go through that big, long process?
So I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit on your question, and sort of take it back to a larger issue, but I will respond to your question. The larger issue is sort of what's your remedy? Like if you've been denied access to a document, let's say you ask for records and the clerk says your request isn't sufficiently specific, or the records exist and we're not going to give them to you because they're privileged. Well, you have a couple of options. Of course, option number one is always do nothing. But option number two is to file a complaint in Superior Court, which is what I've done for Tina, and it's what I do for my clients. That case, if you file a case in Superior Court under OPRA, to get back to your question, that case is supposed to proceed in a summary or expedited manner. Well, what does that mean? Because as the gentleman sort of suggested, you go to court, the case lasts 3 years. OPRA cases are not supposed to last 3 years. When you file an OPRA case, you file all the relevant documents up front. It gets to the judge, almost always it gets to the judge in 2 or 3 days, which in court time is light speed. And as soon as the judge gets the case, he or she sets down a schedule for the entire case from beginning to end. And that can be about, the schedule lasts 45 to 60 days. So when OPRA says that a case is supposed to proceed in a summary or expedited manner, in Superior Court that is honored. Most of my cases will last 2 to 3 months in Superior Court. And frankly, that third month is frequently motion practice or negotiation over my attorney's fees. We can get the records in, say, 2 months, 6 weeks, 10 weeks. By 4 months, I'd say that most of my cases are resolved. There's always going to be I guess the 10 to 15% that last longer. If we talked about my charter school case, that case lasted 2 years. That case was particularly complicated. That was a very complicated OPRA case. I didn't want it to last 2 years, but there were sort of a lot of odd things that happened to it procedurally. So if you're concerned about getting your records quickly, you want to go to Superior Court and get a decision 2 to 5 months on the outset, which by court standards, right?
Yeah.
By court standards, that's very fast. Now the problem with court is that there's a $300 filing fee. You really should have an attorney because when it comes to OPRA cases, they have to be initiated in a special way. It's called an order to show cause. It's not like a regular case. It's much more complicated to initiate an OPRA case. Your alternative to Superior Court is going to the Government Records Council. And the Government Records Council, it's a little bit of the opposite to court. You can file for free. There's no filing fee. You can file by email. For court, for most cases, you still have to do everything in paper. It has to go to the clerk's office. You get physically stamped. GRC, you can do everything by email. It's very user-friendly. However, the GRC takes 9 to 12 months to decide fees. So if you have an OPRA denial and you take it to GRC, you're going to wait a long time. Unless you can get it settled quickly, you're going to wait at least 9 to 12 months. And you could wait as long as 2 years. I know right now I'm working to settle cases in the GRC that were filed in 2011. 2011, Superior Court does well. Superior Court might have cases that are that old, but if there are cases that are that old, it's because they were really complicated. Superior Court will not have any OPRA cases from 2011.